Salute, salute, salute. Bible conversations, man. We're going to talk about the Bible. We're going to talk about politics. We're going to talk about, what was the conversations? It was going to be the Bible, politics, and energy, y'all. Hope everybody having a great afternoon. Got to make your day great, man. Got to make it great. Can't deal with, you just can't deal with people that have that negative energy. Gotta let them negative people go. You know what I mean? That negative energy around y'all. Yeah, my bad, people. Yeah. So the conversations today is gonna be Bible talk, positive energy, and politics, man. So first I want to get into this Bible talk, man. Everybody's having a great day, man. Hope everybody's having an awesome afternoon, man. You know? Salute to everybody watching, man. Hit that like button on the way in, man. It's only gonna cost you seconds in time. Hit the notification bell too if you subscribe. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get all the notifications. Hello, Bunny. How's your? Hope everybody's being positive. Hope he's indulging. So structuring my channel in a new way again. I'm getting back to what I started on. Not indulging in negativity. We're not doing that no more. Because we're a work in progress. We're not perfect, and none of us perfect. So me like you, I'm a work in progress. So we're gonna damn this to stay away from that negative energy, the negative conversation, the negative situations. Hope everybody got their positive vibes, man. Good to see you, Bonnie. And positive vibe, positive energy. Man. We're gonna talk about all of that. We're gonna intertwine the positive vibes, the positive energy with the Bible conversation. You know, we can't these people. I don't care if they're male or female. I don't care what they are. I don't care how important they are. I don't how big their financial status is. I don't care what type of status they have. We as a people cannot indulge in this negativity. What we as a people need to get away from because negativity in our entire lifespan in this country. We've had is negative energy, negative conversation, negative interactions at a majority. How can you tell? Look at how many of us are killing each other. Look how many of us are fighting each other. Look how many of us are calling each other in a negative fashion, in negative ways. So first, love and get about the Bible, because man, I read a lot of books and I, put in prison when I was about 19. You know what I mean? Everybody doesn't learn the same. Some people learn by physically doing it. Some people learn by experience. Some people learn by reading. Some people learn by watching other people. Everybody learns differently. You know, we're all different people. We all come from different backgrounds. We all have different experiences. You know what I'm saying? So my question to you is, if you can hear this, my question to you is, are you a half full or a half empty glass? Let me say that again. Or do you have the perception of your glass being half full, or are you the type of perception, or do you have the perception of your glass being half empty? What I mean is, if your cup is half empty, you're some negative energy. You know? If your cup is half full, then you understand that your cup is your life. Your half full is your energy, your vibrations, your memories, your character, all of those things. Man, shout out to everybody watching, man. Hit that like button. Um, So it's like if you have your cup half full, you understand that you have a lot more space in your cup to fill it with a positive substance. You have something in you have space now where you can try to make your, how do you say, you can try to make the substance that's in your glass more sustainable to your lifestyle, to you, to make it benefit you. Now, there's three different glasses. There's four different glasses. You have your glass that's totally empty. You have your glass that's half empty, or then you have your glass that's half. So those are two different perspectives. That's why it's cups. So you got your half empty, you got your full empty, half full. Then you have your entire full cup. These are four different relative aspects of life. Your cup is empty. You need to fulfill that shit with sustainable substance that's going to benefit your life in a positive way. If your shit is half empty, I suggest that you try to change the way your brain works. Try to stop, instead of saying, why does this shit always happen to, try to figure out what you're doing that's causing that thing to happen to you, instead of saying it, instead of speaking that into reality. Because when you say things like, and it's something negative that happened to you, now you're speaking energy into your life. A negative situation, you're giving it more life. You're telling the universe, you're acknowledging it. Get what I mean? Don't acknowledge that negative energy. Don't give it life. Don't do that. The only thing that negative energy, that negativity, all it's gonna do is expand and expand and expand. Then before you know it, you're gonna have negative energy, negative thoughts, negative feelings, negative conversations, negative actions. Get what I mean? So now we know this, that we understand that the positivity works the same way. If we have positive conversations, positive thoughts, positive energy, positive situations, we will be more positive people. Salute Miss 504. Salute, salute, salute. We understand this. If we have more of a positive state of mind, more positive energy, we'll have more positive conversations. We'll have more positivity in life, occur more, manifest itself more. You know what I mean? But you know, us in the ghettos, in the hoods across America, in the ghettos and the hoods across the world, what we is negative energy. It's like that's what we were born with, negativity. Get what I mean? What I mean is we grew up watching our relatives fight each other. We grew up watching our neighbors, people we don't know, fight each other. Salute Tanya, salute Tia Warren. You know what I mean? That negativity, that's that we know. So we can have 200 positive days in a row, right? And somebody will say that the most negative thing that'll trigger you, and then boom, you there in that negative energy, that space. Radiant Metal, salute to the chat. That like button on the way in, man. So we grew up in this negativity. It's what we know. We know the negativity so well that we perfected that negativity. You know what I'm saying? We got to get away from that because all that negativity does is brew more negativity. Get what I mean? You don't get positive reactions. You don't really get positive situations from negative energy, negative, negative thinking, negative conversation. They don't go with each other. Negatives and positive, they repel from each other. Remember that, like magnets. There's a negative magnet, there's a positive magnet. The negative and positive magnets repel. So they're total opposite. So now what I mean is, if you have this positive energy and you're trying to be more positive, believe you me, everyone who around you is negative will not get along with you. They will not like you. They won't be able to stand you. Think about that. If you're trying to, this is how you can tell who's what. The more you try to move to a positive space, all the negative people in your life will hate you. They literally will fucking hate you. Think about that. If you're trying to be positive, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to be positive, if you're trying to be positive, that negative energy will repel itself from you. So if you're a person and you're trying to be positive, all the negative people around you will repel from you. They will start to get this energy inside of them and they will despise you. Mind you, you would have done nothing wrong to these people. You probably, it'll someone that you haven't even spoken to in a long time, and it'll feel like they will hate your guts. Why? Because negative energy and positive energy repel from each other. They are total polar opposites. So if you're trying to be on a more positive way, in a more positive wave, on a more positive vibe, on a more positive state of mind, universe is going to do the favor for you. The universe will, you don't have to do it. You don't have to move away from nobody. The universe will do the favor for you. Can you tell? Because it's like when you find somebody that's from the streets, used to shoot at people, sell drugs, whatever the case may be. And then now they start to get a job, they start going to church, they start doing things that they feel will benefit their life in a positive way. You will see that the people they used to run with, that the ones that are real negative, the ones that don't want happiness for him, they're gonna be like, what you doing that for? Yo, the streets met you. Yo, look at all this I'm doing. Look at they're gonna try to entice you with that negativity. Get what I mean? They're gonna entice you. Negativity, excuse me, burp. We are 5/5. We are right at home in this middle of a dysfunctional and mayhem 100%. Exactly, TM Warren. Exactly, TM Warren. Shit is crazy. 5/5, your voice is but cutting in and out at times. My bad, man. Can you hear me a little bit? I'm on my headphones, man. I'm on my headphones, man. I hope you can hear me a little bit better. But what I'm saying is, the negative people in your life, when you're trying to be positive, they will start to hate your guts. They will repel from you like a battery. Remember that? Like a battery, like two magnets. There's one magnet that's negative and there's another magnet that's positive. They will repel like a battery. One end is positive, one end is negative. The negative does its thing and the positive does its thing. They're two different entities. So with a negative person and you are trying to be positive, you will notice that all your friends around you, everybody you grew up with, niggas that you thought were your people. What I mean by thought they were your people was because when it was time to go outside and sell drugs and shoot and rob, and when it was time to go outside, shoot and rob and sell drugs and break the law, do a bunch of shit that's gonna take you from your family, they with it. They with it. They're gonna push you to do it, right? But the minute you start talking about some shit that's gonna affect you and everybody around you in a positive way, they don't fuck with you no more. Ever think about that? Thank you, Tia Moore, and I appreciate you, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Hit that like button on the way in. It only costs you a few seconds, man. It costs you a few more seconds if you hit that notification bell, man, so you can get all the notifications from when I go live, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Salute to everybody watching. Hit that like button, man. But it's like, man, if you noticing, right? Check it out. If you know that you are trying to do something better for your life, and I don't care if the people is your brother, mama, your friends, how you know the person. I don't care how you know the person. Get what I'm saying? I don't know how you came to a friendship, relationship, relative, whatever. Because what people fail to realize in the hood, you make your own family. You can pick a family. You can't pick who you're related to. If somebody's your brother, your sister, your cousin, they related to you, right? But if you meet somebody in school, sorry, you hear birds, man. I'm outside of my backyard. So let's say you meet somebody in school or in the neighborhood, whatever the case be. 10, 15 years down the line, y'all niggas is rocking, doing each other to help each other. That person right there is a brother more than your actual relative. So it's like, it's like you can have somebody in your life be your best friend way than your own, right? So now that's showing you that in time. Hey, salute Cali 26 podcast. Go subscribe to that good brother, man. Go subscribe to this dude, man. He got to offer the game. So it's like if you have people that's around you that want you to stay negative, those are the people you shouldn't have in your life. What your sexual gender is. If you have a bunch of friends around you that want you to be negative, if you have a bunch of friends around you that are telling you to go sell drugs, that are telling you to go break the law, those are not your friends. I don't care if the person is related to you. That person doesn't want your well-being at heart. Get what I'm saying? Now, if you got somebody next to you that's trying to push you to do the right thing, that you need to surround yourself with more people that's like that. You got people around that's telling you, man, fuck that, man, fuck this, fuck the nigga. Man, this shit is hard. This shit is not easy, man. I grew up negative, man. I grew up selling drugs, man. That's what I done. That's like my go-to. That's what I know. So trust me, when I tell you this shit is hard, this shit is hard. It's no lie. It's no lie. You know what I mean? How do I deal with the inevitable? I make what's inevitable inevitable. So I attempt to make attempt loud that I've grown, turn it. It's, like I said, it's hard. It is hard. Trust me. I fight it every day. Nobody understands the shit that I fight. You don't understand. This shit is hard. You know what I mean? And of course, it gets harder. That's the mission of life, because I look at it like the harder it is, the bigger of an achievement you can achieve. You know what I mean? Because this shit is hard, man. I grew up selling drugs, shooting guns, man. That's what I know. I grew up in prison, man. That's what I know. So everything that I'm telling y'all about positive energy and how it affects you is new for me. Something it's hard, man. It's hard. Like my sister, I got a sister, right? I got a sister that she she was putting me on to this positive energy and how it fucks in, like the negative energy fucks around in your subconscious. You know what I mean? The energy, basically, it doesn't matter if it's the energy fucks around in your subconscious. You know what I'm saying? So when your subconscious is full of negative, you're gonna act negative. And it took me a while to understand what my sister was trying to tell me. In a while. That shit took I didn't understand it. And I kept calling her and asking her, like, yo, I don't get it. I keep trying to, and then she made me, like my sister made me more aware of, okay, now check it. If you're trying to be positive and you're noticing things are falling apart, that's because everything that's falling apart around you, so-called friends, what you think of your friends, they weren't really my friends. You know what I'm saying? So now we going back to like we're in 2020 now, so we're probably going back to like 2014, 2015. She was telling me, she's like, listen, man, the best for you, not your friends. And it took me a while to understand that. And then, as my sister kept talking to me, I kept I began to start taking steps in that positive lifestyle that she was talking to me about. She started talking to me about affirmations. She started talking to me about like just trying to clear my chakras. Mind you, I had no idea what the fuck my chakras were. I didn't know what my chakras were. I never heard the word chakra before. So luckily, while my sister's telling me this shit, I had a doctor's appointment. So I go see my primary care, and this is how I knew that this system isn't for us. My doctor looked at me, and instead of answering me, she asked me, how do you know about your chakras? Who told you about chakras? Who told you about this? And I'm like, what? What? First, tell me if these chakras are a real thing. And my primary care doctor, she's like, yeah, they are real. A lot of people, like people of color, because she was black. I think she was maybe black and something else. I remember. She was chakras are real, people don't, but in the medical profession, all of us we know about chakras. And they were like, yeah, that negative energy, that stress, all of that will affect you in a negative way and make you. And I was like, what? Hold up, hold up, hold up. What? They didn't teach us none of this in school. They didn't teach us nothing about chakras and negative energy and how it can affect you in a negative way. Nobody's ever said that. Nobody's ever said that. I ain't never. I have never been classroom where the teacher would explain to us how these shocks and how last 2 3 years. I never knew that. What's your question, Chef's Cup? What's your question? What you need help with? What you mean you need advice? So is this what you're talking about? It's about to get harder, especially when one knows they are on precipice on a life-changing act. Okay, life-changing act. So the only thing that I can figure out, it's like when you sometimes life puts you in a place where you'll be afraid. All right, prime example. They like to say that when men are getting married, we get cold feet, right? That is your precipice when your life is about to change. With high risk comes high reward. And also with that high risk comes your mind asking you if this is what you want. You know what I mean? Being married, my wife has showed me that sometimes the best thing for you in the negative space is to think outside your. She has this saying, I can't remember. Get out of your comfort zone. That's like my wife's thing to me. Get out of your comfort zone. In other words, I was comfortable selling drugs, shooting people, doing that illegal shit. I was comfortable with it because I knew it. You know what I'm saying? Stop selling drugs, me going to get a job, me working, me being more positive, thinking more positive, speaking more positive, all that is out of my comfort zone. So she would always say, get out of your comfort zone. So if you say that you have something big coming, get out of your comfort zone. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a relationship specialist, my guy. I don't know. I'm trying to read your comment. Yeah, I don't know, Chef's Cup. I see you. You caught your wife, and yeah, I get what you're saying. But maybe you should talk to her and ask her about that. Maybe does she have a type of hidden anger towards this race? And you also, when when people are dealing with racism, both parties, right? The racist person is 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. That racist person is taught racism because as a baby, you don't know racism. You know what I'm saying? So that is taught. So just like you learn racism, you can unlearn racism. So it's like you can't, you can't you gotta just talk to your partner and figure it out, man. You know what I'm saying? Because some people have gone through things. So I would say talk to her, brother, but I am not a relationship specialist. I've never dealt with that like that. I mean, I don't know exactly what was said, what was the content. I don't know what was going on, but look, yeah, I was taught before I was turned around. This is what I'm talking about. No, I say you should sit down and have a conversation. Communication is key. But it's like we know negativity. You know what I'm saying? I can't really help you, man. I don't. That shit is crazy. I'm not the relationship specialist, man. I can't help you on that. I'm not a relationship specialist, man. I can't. You're asking me to help you in your relationship, and I, I, I can't do it. I'm not. I don't know about relationships like that. I mean, I'm not a professional relationship person. Like I grew up in prison a lot, so a lot of the people I've been with while younger, they were in relationships because of that lifestyle I lived. I knew I was gonna be in and out of prison. Yeah, some people do that. You said you're all right, like me and my wife, we're two different races. Just you got to remember, some people, not to say you or her. I'm just using a general. How do you say a general example? This doesn't apply to no one person in particular. So now, let's say person A and person B in their prior relationships, person A conducted itself in one way and person B conducted theirself in a certain way, right? And then when they're in certain situations, the certain situation might have developed itself in a certain way, and maybe that's what they're used to. Get what I mean? It could be a lot, man. It could be a lot of things. You feel like you're in prison. I tell you what, man, I've been in prison, man. That's the worst feeling I have. And I've been in situations where I've been in rooms full of people and I still feel alone, but that doesn't feel like I was in prison. You should never feel like you in prison if you were not, man. You should never feel that way. All I can say is we are both females and I'm an assistant fire chief, hence my name. Oh, okay. Salute to that. I would say try to dwell on what's more positive in your relationship. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I say talk to a relationship specialist because that is not me. I am not a relationship specialist. Trust me on that. I am not. Like like the positive energy. I want to get back to that. The positive energy. So now, like in the Bible, right? Beginning, it tells you, all right, well, I say that. God created us in his image. He said lowercase g, his image. Get what I'm saying? So, what was his image? He created the seas, he created the land. He created something that's called, I'm going to probably say this wrong. You know what I mean? But I try to say this word correctly. It's called something like a firmament, the firmament dome to keep us separated from the waters above and the waters below, right? So God spoke all these things into existence, then told us that we are lowercase g's, right? So he showed us that with the right, remember, it's spoken. So we speak at a frequency. The universe is like a receiver. So if you speak in the right frequency, you will get what you need. Like if you got to stand on your app, it's a lot of things. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know the recipe because I'm still learning. Like like at night, I try to pay positive affirmation videos to attack my subconscious, to attack that negative thinking that dwells in the subconscious because all of our how do you say habitual habits lie in our subconscious. You know what I'm saying? It lies in our subconscious. Get what I mean? And it's like we we know this negativity so well. They don't teach us how to fight the negativity. They don't give us the correct education on how to combat the negativity that we've grown up to know. They don't teach us that. You know what I'm saying? They don't teach us how to attack. They don't teach us how to attack our negative society in a positive way so we can have a positive outcome. They don't teach us that. Like, think what we have to rely on. We got to rely on our memories. What are our memories when you grow up in these hoods? Your memories are growing up hearing your mother tell your father he ain't shit, right? Then when your father leave, he tell you, your mom turn around and tell you that you ain't gonna be shit like your daddy. And then when you keep going back and back in our generations, we've dealt with that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? They don't teach us how to be more positive to our children. They don't teach us that. They don't teach us to tell your kid to reaffirm your child, to explain to your child that they have their whole life ahead of them. They don't teach us how to teach our children that, yo, listen, just because one negative thing happened at 7 o'clock in the morning, you don't have to carry that energy for the rest of the day. They don't teach us these things. What do they teach us? Go hit that package store. Go pick up that gun. Go sell them drugs. You know what I mean? Go fight with this person. Go argue with that person. You're always in competition with that person. Everybody's your enemy. Nobody loves you. Everybody's out to hurt you. That's what they teach you in the ghettos. I don't know about that other neighborhood because I didn't grow up over there. I mean, I didn't grow up spoiled with everything. And that's not a shot to them at all. Because you as a person, you don't compare yourself to somebody else's life and how they grew up because you don't know the um type of options their parents had compared to your parents. So you just got to take your ball and your game and where your bloodline is and try to move it forward. So where you are at 20 years old, your children are in a better space than you were when they reached 20. Get what I'm saying? And it's like we got to do better for ourselves. We have to be better. We even if it's a centimeter at a time, an inch at a time, a foot at a time, memory at a time, moment at a time, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. It is a every second struggle. It is a struggle, especially if you from the hood. It is a struggle. You have so much shit going against you. It's what you feel. You feel like it's hard. You feel like, damn, I'm waking up every day going to school and I'm looking around, everybody fucked up. Everybody I see successful around my way is selling drugs, doing something negative. You got so many things pulling you in so many negative ways. You're looking at somebody that you might emulate. You might like what he stands for. You might like the way he portrays himself. You might like the way people see him, right? And you're younger, so you don't know any better. Then you come to realize that this nigga's a drug dealing gangbanger that murdered a bunch of people. And people don't love him. They actually are afraid of him. Get what I'm saying? That's what we're taught in our hoods. We're not taught positivity. This is something we're not taught. You know what I'm saying? We learn this shit as we get older to be more positive. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to be more positive. Your options are to sulk in negativity or sulk in positivity. Those are your options in life. You can sulk in the negative or you can sulk in the positive. But I'll tell you what, man, I'm 40 years old, man. I literally spent 36 years of my life being negative, man. Speaking negative, being negative, thinking negative, negative situations, negative conversations, negative aura, negative vibrations. Nothing came but negative. All I did was end up being in prison by myself. That's it. In prison. Nothing comes from that negative but negative. And they don't teach us this. They don't teach us that. What else? They don't teach us how to financially stabilize ourselves. They don't teach us they don't teach us how to spend our finances in a way where it'll actually benefit us instead of being a temporary instant gratification. What I mean by instant gratification, oh, I just bought these new sneakers. I'm about to kill it. That's how I used to think. Oh, I just bought this. I just bought that. Instant gratification. You know what I'm saying? So now if you a sneakerhead, let's say you got 100 sneakers in your room. Shout out Jiggy Lifestyle, man. Shout out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this, man. If you a sneakerhead, right? And let's say you got 10, 15 pairs of sneakers in your closet that you paid 250 a piece for. Add that up. 250 times 10. How much is that? You could have spent that money on probably fixing your credit. Get what I'm saying? I didn't understand what credit was until I hit my 30s. Until I hit my 30s. I didn't understand it. I didn't get the concept because I wasn't taught that. They didn't show me that. Niggas ain't show me negative. You know what I learned? I was out there whipping that pot when I was 7, 8 years old, cooking up crack. That's what I learned. I learned that the police were the bad guys. Why were they the bad guys? Because they would take you away from your families. Like where I grew up in my town in New Britain, Connecticut, like there was this one cop, dirty cop. Everybody knew he was a dirty cop. When I'm talking about dirty, let's say this nigga hemmed you up. He didn't care how old you are. Let's say he caught you with like $100 or $200 worth of crack cocaine. This nigga is arresting you, right? Let's say this nigga would run down on you and he'd catch you with a few ounces, couple kilos. He letting you go and he's taking all your drugs and he's taking all your money. Later on in life, this nigga did get arrested. This cop, he got arrested for doing some wild shit, got caught with a bunch of drugs that kicked him off the force after being on the force over 30 years. But it caught up to him. But the point is, even in the ghetto, the people that are supposed to be the good guys, sometimes they still come out to be the bad guys. Get what I'm saying? And this fucking cop, his name was RoboCop. This big ass white motherfucker. Big ass white motherfucker. Seemed like he was on steroids. If anybody ever watched that show, was that The Wire? I'm trying to think if it was The Wire or if it was another show called The Shield. But there was this big ass cop, and he had this big ass attitude. When I say big, I mean like height, weight. Like he was big, like steroids. And in his TV show, this cop, he was like a dirty cop. And he had this attitude of how he used to mess with people in the ghettos. And I'm looking at this dude. And I'm like, yo, he reminds me of the cop that I dealt with in real life. When I was like 14, 15, this fucking cop caught me with about 2 ounces of crack. He caught me and like 7 other people. We all had drugs on us. I'm like 15, 16. The other people I was with were grown men. He ran in everybody's pockets, took all their money, took all their drugs, and told niggas, get the fuck off these streets. Get what I'm saying? We're not taught this positive shit. We're not taught that. That's something we learn. And for some reason, we don't teach our kids that. And I don't get it. Because the only thing that I really got from selling drugs is jail time and being away from my family and my son. Think about that. That's all that life brought me. Going to prison, being away from my family, and being away from my son. That's all that lifestyle brought me. That's it. Yeah, I had a couple memories. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I made a few, I made a nice amount of, yeah. But I would give all that shit back to be in my son's life. All of it. You know what I'm saying? I would give all that shit back to make sure that my son don't grow up the way I did. To make sure your sons don't grow up to the way I did. Get what I'm saying? Because if we don't care about each other, it's more than obvious that they don't care about us. How do we know? They enslaved us. They still got us enslaved. We got to go, a bunch of us got to go vote, right? Check this out. We got to go vote and we have to choose which one of these two people, we have to choose of the lesser of two evils. Think about that. Think about that. There's proof out there that Joe Biden supported segregation. There's proof out there that Donald Trump is racist. Segregation is racism. There's proof out there that Joe Biden was part of that pushing of the law of the stop and frisk. He wanted it in all 50 states. Giuliani picked it up and enforced it in New York. There's proof that Donald Trump is not a morally good man. So why, we as a people, why are they selecting that we have to elect the lesser of two evils? Never mind the fact that they're both evil. Or is it because these two people stand for to help their kind and not our kind? And what I mean by their kind, I mean the upper class, the people that are rich. Think about that. Think about that. Like we in the lower class, man, we got so many things going against us. We got so much division in the lower class. We are so divided. All we do is fight each other, argue about anything. Like, there are people that'll get mad at you because you went to school and sacrificed 8 years of your life in college to get that degree. And now you're putting that degree to work. And somebody else will get mad at what you're achieving because now you did your 8 years in school, you did your apprenticeship, and now you're in your career path, and now you're clocking. Now that person, they didn't see that you did the 8 years in classing. They didn't see however much time you had to be as an apprentice. All they see is you buying your house, you taking your family on vacation. That's what they see. They don't see all the struggles that you had to go through. They didn't see all the shit you went through to bring your life up to a higher echelon, to break that next level. They didn't see that because they didn't experience that. All they see is what you're doing today. They didn't see what you went through the last 10 years to get you to today. And us in the ghettos, we don't teach our kids that. I didn't get taught that. And I because of my own actions, my own selfish ways, I took myself out of my son's life because I was selling drugs and I kept going in and out of prison. I did that. You know what I'm saying? I take responsibilities for that. But even in that, when I was selling the drugs, niggas didn't see me start from the bottom and work my way up. They didn't see every time I came out of prison that I had to start from the bottom and work my way up. All they see is the runners, the money, the blocks, the buildings, that's all they see. We got to teach our kids that, yo, to get to that beneficiary lifestyle, you got to buckle down. You got to work hard. It's not going to be easy. You're going to lose a lot of friends, a lot of family members. And you got to keep your bigger picture, the bigger picture that you want, that better lifestyle that you want for you and your kids and your family. That's what's got to stay in your brain. Because trust me, the negativity is going to come from anywhere and everywhere like oxygen. That devil is going to play with you to knock you off your square. So now check it. This is why I try to tell people that are getting into the Bible. If you're trying to go from negative to positive, right? And you feel like everything is going wrong and all these people are attacking you, guess what, brother? You're on the right path. You're on the right path. How do you know you're on the right path? Because when you were next to the devil and you were doing the bidding of the devil, he didn't have to knock you off because you already one of his soldiers. You're already right next to him. The minute you trying to get away from the devil in them devilistic ways, then he gonna attack you. If that devil is attacking you, that only means one thing. That means that you're on the side of God. You're on the side of righteousness. You're on the side of positivity. The devil is evil. The evil is negative energy. It's negative energy. Get what I'm saying? The devil roams with negative energy. So if you feel there's negative energy attacking you from everywhere, think about it like this. Think about it like if you're the football player that got your team's jersey on and you got the ball, and everybody around you is the other team because they're trying to tackle you because you have the ball. You have the power. You got it. And the devil knows it. The devil knows the power lies within you. You make your destiny. You make your choices. You are the one that's going to make tomorrow's outlook happen today. It is you. And the devil knows this. The devil knows this. So if the devil's attacking you 24/7, wipe all the negative thoughts and negative emotions the hell out. Don't let him take over your house. Don't let don't allow the devil to take over and manipulate your temple. Because your temple is your body, is your mind, is your blood. Get what I'm saying? We have to be more positive as a people and affect each other in a positive way and watch how us as a people start to rise. This is what they don't want. This is what the higher class, they don't want us to rise. This is what they do not want. If we all come together, we are unstoppable. We are unstoppable as a people. As a people, we are unstoppable. If we come together and stop fighting each other and use our pros to help each other, watch how much traction we can make as a people. Get what I'm saying? If we stop beefing, when you're at the store, help your brother. Open that door for him. We we have so much negative energy inside of us. All of us. All of us Puerto Ricans, blacks, whites, Latinos, it doesn't matter race. It has to do with class. Racism started with color, then it moved to class. Everybody in the lower class is filled with this negative energy. We all fight each other. Instead of you saying, damn, I see that dude, he got a nice house, he got a nice car, he got a nice family, he got a nice job, a nice career. Instead of you saying, damn, I could do that, you say, nah, I hate that nigga. Instead of using him as an example, use that man in your neighborhood that got a good job, a good family, a good career. Use him as an example to your children. Tell your children that, yo, with the right education, if you pick the right career path, the trajectory of your life is incomparable. You won't be able to comprehend how far in life you can go. This is things that we are not taught. Thank you, Metal Eric. All right, so now what you say? Just heard you on SideNet a good presentation on the errors in the Bible. Translation is, man, listen, man, we're gonna get into that. So what I'm gonna work on is I'm gonna start I'm gonna start bringing a Bible into my lives, right? And I'm gonna straight read parts of the Bible, section at a time. Because I try to tell people, man, the Bible is the only book in this planet that I've come across. I'm not saying I've read every book. I'm not saying I come across every book. What I'm saying, this book, the Bible, is the only book that me myself I've ever come across that you need two other books to read that book. Get what I'm saying? You need a dictionary and a thesaurus to read the Bible because these words have so many different meanings. And you have to read each word, get the definition of each word in its context to understand the point they're trying to relate. Get what I mean? And us as a people, all we know how to do is fight, 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 knock, knock, hate, hate, hate. You know what I'm saying? You might see somebody that's working with a good car and a nice house, and you be like, that's only this. Or he's only on a quarter acre. Not understanding that maybe before that man, nobody in his family ever owned no land at all. Maybe he's the first in his family to own a home. Get what I mean? Making a positive influence on his bloodline. That's not what they teach us. They teach us to fight each other. Even the quality of education in our public school systems, in our hoods, the education, the quality of education is low. It is low. I remember, I remember being like in high school, right? And running into people, kids in other cities that go to all right, not for nothing. There's this little town called Southington, right? I was in a technical school before I got kicked out of it in New Britain called EC Goodwin Tech. Back then, I don't know about now, but you would do 3 weeks of class, 3 weeks of shop, 3 weeks of class, 3 weeks of shop, right? So you pick your shop, whether it's culinary, electrical, whatever, hairdressing, whatever. So you 3 and 3, right? One day they took my shop into the School of Southernton's Goodwin Tech, and the teacher said we had to come here to do this project because they have more tools than us. I'm thinking to myself, well, if this is a technical school, it's granted, it's funded by the state, not the city. Why would this school, that's this town at the time was predominantly white, have more stuff than the school in the towns in the ghetto of New Britain? That was like a red flag. And I was like, damn. And the education level of the higher class is of a better quality. So if you get a better quality of an education, you have a better shot at having a better life. You get what I'm saying? So if you have kids and you can afford to give them a better quality of education, I say do it. Do it. Because they don't teach us these things, man. They teach us to fight each other. They don't teach us to read books. They don't teach us that. They teach us to go outside and play football. They teach us to go outside and play basketball. You know what I mean? So basically, if you don't have the dreams to manifest to be an NBA, NFL, MLB player, well, where the fuck are all our doctors? Huh? Where are our doctors? Get what I'm saying? Why don't we have more kids wanting to be doctors? Why don't they tell you that? Why don't they teach us that instead of this basic education level that they're giving us? Because where I'm from, you can graduate high school, right? And probably go into one of these high upper class neighborhoods and go into their middle school, and you'll probably be lost because that middle school's education, they're teaching them what you have already learned in grades prior. So your entire 12 years of schooling, they learn that shit in the first 5 and 6. So everything you learned in your 12 years, they know all of that by grade 5 and 6. Get what I'm saying? Their education level is so much higher. What they're teaching them, the quality is so much higher. This is why their children and everyone in those educational programs have such a high success rate for life in the future. Us in the ghettos, by the time we 15, 16, 14, we don't want to be in school because we need money. Why? Because money, school ain't teaching us how to make money. It's not teaching us. So what do we say? I know I could get money by selling this. Or I know I could get money if I steal this car and bring it to this top shop. Or I know I could get money if I pull this banger out and take this nigga shit. That's what we learn because that's what we know. You know what I'm saying? We got to stabilize ourselves because if we don't do it, nobody's going to do it. It's like a conversation. You got to understand the context of the words that are being spoken. And if you're reading a book, then that context comes from the point of perspective of others. Like, don't get me wrong. I believe in the Bible. I just believe it was tampered with. Prime example. We know when the Bible took place, right? People might not want to share this information, but we know when the Bible took place and we know where the Bible took place. What I mean by when, I mean a long ass time ago, right? And we know that the Bible took place in Africa, right? Granted, Africa wasn't called Africa. It was probably named something else, but the piece of land was there. Get what I'm saying? So now what do we got? You got the new King James or the new revised, whatever. The second way after the coming of Christ, right? You have these books in there, Mark, Luke, John. You got all these people, right? I don't think those people were called Luke, Matthew, and Mark, and John. I don't think that was their names. I think their names were something different. Get what I'm saying? Yeah. Yes, Eric, you are correct. T.M. Warren, fifth explained on Sinetta that virgin doesn't have the same definition. Different cultures, languages, and time periods, context clears all the confusion. That was the point that I was making. People don't understand that when it says Mary the Virgin, virgin doesn't mean what we think it means in 2020. We in 2020 in America, we think virgin is someone who hasn't had sex. All right. Back in those days, the word virgin, if you look it up, virgin, I believe it actually meant unmarried. Mary was an unmarried woman. Get what I'm saying? I don't think it meant virgin in the aspect of never having sex. You have to look in these words, right? You have to look in these words and in the derivative in the language it was spoken, so you can understand the definition, so you can understand the point they are trying to make. Us in America, we're so fucking, what's the word? We're so obnoxious that we feel that everything has to converge to the American society. Even religion, we feel like it has to converge to the American way, to the American definition of words, to the American way, to the American perception, to the American way. Nah. Us in America, we are the youngest nation. Every nation been out there before us. You don't think why we read from left to right when everywhere else in the world read right to left, except for one country, I believe they read up and down. You ever wonder why everywhere else in the world, the steering wheel's on the other side of the car and we drive on the other side of the street? It's in America that we did things backwards. Yeah, the New Testament names were originally Greek. I think the original name was before that because I believe when the Bible happened, when they were taking notes of that, I don't even think it was called Greece back then. I don't even think they were talking that language. Get what I'm saying? Like people say, well, that took place, then where did all these races come from? Okay, I'm gonna break that down for you real quick. Metal Eric, I want to know if you know this. Do you understand that white people are the descendants of Cain? Yeah, think about that. I'm not being racist. This is a fact. In the older Bibles, because remember, it tells you that people used to live for thousands of years, right? So in the older Bibles, they use different words. So in a older Bible, I read that Cain was banished to the caves until the melanin left his skin. And then they gave him the mark of the beast so everyone could know him and all his descendants. The mark of the beast so we could know him and all his descendants. So if we knew that back in those days, that Cain and Abel days, that everybody lived for thousands of years, let's say you were banished into a cave for 1,000 years, 2,000 years, 3,000 years. Right? Let's say this was your punishment. Mind you, Bible took place in Africa. You're under the sun. That means our melanin kicks in and we start to get dark. So if you're in a cave, you're away from the sun. Thousands and thousands and thousands of years, you will be white. Think about it. When you see a black dude, when you see somebody a dark complexion, race doesn't matter because I know Puerto Ricans and Dominicans that are darker than some black people. So race does not matter. If you find someone dark of skin and they go to prison and they're in prison for a long time without being in the sun, they get lighter. Your pigmentation of your skin gets lighter. The sun itself is what triggers the melanin in your skin. You never heard that before? Yeah, man. You got to find them old Bibles. The one that are, if you find an old Bible that's just the Old Testament by itself, and all the words read thou, out, shout, not shall, SHALL, shout, SHALT. Thou shalt not go against the covenant of God. Those Bibles that are spoken in the old word, the Bibles that are spoken in the frequency that I believe is the frequency that we need to manifest our affirmations in this universe. Get what I'm saying? You get what I mean? Well, I've heard a saying once that the word Bible, spell it out, is basic information before leaving Earth. Earth, or let me rephrase that. Basic, what's the word? Not information. It's a different I. But it's basic something else. It's not information, but it's a word like it. Basic instruction before leaving Earth. There it is. Some people say that the word Bible is an acronym, actually, that it really stands for basic information before leaving Earth. And I say this, what if the word faith is a mistranslation? Because we have, remember, the Bible was translated into 4 or 5 different languages before it hit Hebrew. Remember that. Before it hit the Latin language, before it hit all these people that we were able to translate it into English, it hit so many languages. Why that's important? I'm going to give you a prime example. Prime example. I'll give you one word in Spanish, Puerto Ricans. It's called cabron. One word. The only way I can tell you what that word means is by giving you an English definition. I can't tell you that one word. That word don't exist in English. And I think that is what happened. No, we were not all born different races. No, that is not what happened. The Bible tells you, yeah, basic instruction. Good looking, Don P. It took a minute for that memory to click. Basic instruction before leaving Earth. Basic instruction before leaving Earth. They say that the word Bible is an acronym. Bible. Bible. Basic instruction before leaving Earth. Get what I'm saying? Because everybody, if we all know that the Bible took place in Africa, where there's all sun, where it's sun, where it's sun, we get dark. So now, if people remember the Tower of Babel, if anybody remembers that story in the Bible, the Tower of Babel. I'm gonna give y'all a second to hit the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody watching. So now, King James. You know why I don't fuck with the King James Bible? Because King James, every so often, they're revising it. You know what the word revise means? Revise means that they're changing the words. The more they change the words in the Bible, the more you're getting away from the frequency we need to be to speak our affirmations into reality. This is why they keep revising it. This is why I said on Sayonetta's show, I think they have the original Bible and we have the Bible in circulation is the one that's been tampered with. Yeah, yeah, the Wu Tang try to put a lot of people on the knowledge, like the Tower of Babel. So the Tower of Babel, right? So these people salute, Kenya, salute. So now the Tower of Babel was created. Now check it out. The people worship God, try to make a tower to get all the way up to it, the heavens, right? So after we defiled, right, and we were fighting and we were doing all this fuck shit we shouldn't have been doing, what did God do? God made the people at the time not be able to conversate. What I mean is, they made all the people speak different languages. And it says that they put something in them so they physically couldn't be around each other. Think about that. So let's say me, Tien Warren, Don P, and Kenya, and Main Ike, however you say your name. Let's say we are them people, us four, right? If it's us four and God made it so we cannot stand each other physically, that means physically we cannot be around each other. Verbally, we cannot communicate because now we speak different languages. So since we cannot be around each other, my job is to get as far away from Don P, Tim Warren, and Maniac as I can. Get what I'm saying? God put that vibration in them to make them not want to be around each other, to make them speak different languages because we were already going against his will. Get what I'm saying? So when I tell people, when you're looking into the Bible, when you're looking into history, take your personal feelings, your personal agendas, and your personal thoughts out of the equation. Because your personal thoughts, your agenda, your feelings has nothing to do with the fucking truth. Because you might feel like it's raining, your body might ache, you might be tired, but when you look out that window, that sun is beaming. So you got to take your personal feelings and thoughts out of the subject. Boom. The Tower of Babel. When people trying to build a tower to get to the heavens, after that they speak in different languages because folks being disobedient of God. That was the point that I was making. I learned Latin at 11. That's what's up. Salute to you, man. And it's like, exactly, Don P. Not all words are translatable. Exactly. Which is why I try to tell people the Bible is the only book that I know that you need two other books to understand what you're reading. You need a dictionary and a thesaurus to read the Bible. That's how I read it. I read it like that in prison. Ain't nobody teach me it like that. I had to read it. I had to look up the words, look up the definitions, look up which definition fit the sentence so I can understand the point they're making in every sentence. So now, like, this is why I say it's tampered. You have them talking about the Nephilims. You have them talk about the giants. You have them talking about Nibiru. You have them talking about this for a short paragraph. How many of you Bible readers ever heard of the book of Thomas Judas or Judas Thomas? Not the Judas that gave up Jesus Christ, because there was two Judases there. A lot of people don't know that. There was two Judases. The other Judas was Judas of Thomas. Judas of Thomas has a book that is like the book of Enoch. I believe that's one of the books that were taken out of the Bible because there were 40 plus books taken out of the Bible. Each one of those Bibles are different books. What I mean is the book of Matthew, the book of Mark, the book of Luke, the book of John. Those were different books that were put in, made the Bible. The New Testament that was made. Understand that? So with the Tower of Babel, see, I don't mess with King James, Bonnie. I don't mess with King James. I try to mess with the oldest Bible I can find. I don't want no revised. Because revised, check it out. People say, yeah, the revised are easier to use. You are correct. It's easier to read. But what people don't understand is when they were speaking in those words, they were manifesting things in their reality. Those words, those pronunciations, those percussions are the correct frequencies and how we manifest what we want in this reality. The frequencies we're speaking now are off. Get what I mean? So, like, let's say the radio station, those stations are frequencies. Not Hot 97, 93.7, 104.1, 101.4. Those are all different frequencies. You know what I'm saying? So now, if those are frequencies, we speak at a certain frequency. They spoke at a certain frequency. And these, if the Bible is basic instructions before leaving Earth, those are the frequencies in which we need to speak, in which the percussional sounds need to come out of our voice box to help make the universe reciprocate us and manifest what we are affirming the universe to give. Does that make sense to y'all? Look, Dirty 33. Enoch's book was the truth that destroys their story they want you to believe. Do you understand? Do people understand that Enoch was one of the few people in the Bible that actually was taken up to the heavens? Now, let's talk about that real quick. Let's Let's talk about that whole scenario right there. When you're reading the book, mind you, when you come to Enoch's story and how he was carried off to the heavens, mind you, words like airplane, words like car, words like automobile, words like spaceship, words like that did not exist at the time. Those words haven't come into fruition yet. Get what I'm saying? We gotta take our 2020 perception of language out of the window because our perception of life and definition of words wasn't the original intent of that definition of word while it's being used in the fragmentational sentence that it is in. Get what I'm saying? The definition of whip today, some people say that's a car. Some people don't say that that's this leather thing that's mad long and you can lash somebody with that. A lot of people think a whip is a car. Get what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't say, yo, I'm sitting in the front seat. Most people say shotgun. Isn't shotgun a gun? Isn't that a weapon? How does shotgun relevant to what seat you're taking place in a vehicle? Brother said Enoch was Noah's great grandfather. The Enoch's book is the Dead Sea Scroll, saying about the Nephilim and the Lilith and all. Exactly. How in the Bible we have this little excerpt about the Nephilim and the giants that walked the earth. Why is this so little? Because the Bible was tampered with. That is in the scrolls that's in the Vatican that was taken out of the Bible. Do you understand? Check it out. My brother-in-law, my wife's brother put me on to some shit. I never knew that the United States back in the day was called Turtle Island. Never heard it. He told me this shit. He was like, yeah, back in the day, this shit it was called Turtle Island. Think about that. There's so much stuff in history that they don't want us to know. Why? Because they don't want you to know how powerful you really are. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's almost like we're living in a video game, like in a matrix, and we command this matrix what to do, right? But we don't know how to give the orders because they don't want to teach us how to give the orders, which is the frequencies. When you speak at a certain frequency, the universe will give you what you want, but you have to be at the right frequency. You have to vibrate at the right frequency so the universe can give it to you. You have to be in kind, mind, heart, soul, spirit, no hate. Have them chakras clear. Never speak against what you're trying to manifest. Never speak against what you're trying to affirm in this universe. These are things they don't teach us in school. They don't teach us this. They'll teach you a whole bunch of shit that you're not going to use in real life. That you're just not. You're not going to use it in real life. They don't teach us what we need. They made us basically fight each other and kill our own prosperity. Why is our prosperity being killed? Because we're too busy fighting each other. Think about that. We're too busy fighting one another. If we unite and fight for what's right and stand up for what's right, we are unstoppable as a people. As a people. I tell everybody, man, the power's in the selection, not the election. They're selecting who we can elect. Now we find ourselves in the middle of Donald Trump and Biden, two racist people. We have to pick which one is, we have to pick up the two lesser evils, which is going to benefit us as a nation. But you notice that the people that's choosing who we can elect, the people that's selecting who we can elect, are not affected by these situations that we are in. Does anybody notice that? Exactly. Exactly. DC 33. Together we stand, divided we fall. That's why we can't climb because we're divided. We keep falling. We keep fighting each other. United we stand, divided we fall. That's why the saying is called divide and then conquer. Why is it that we got all these politicians arguing about unemployment funding that's not even their money? That people that need it ain't even them. They aren't even the people that need the funding. They don't even they don't even they don't even live in the state that they represent a lot of the time. A lot of these people are on vacation a lot of the time. These people ain't affected in these situations the way we are. You got these congressmen and these politicians arguing about unemployment funding, and they're not the ones that are unemployed. They're not the ones that cannot pay their bills. It's not them, but they're arguing. It's not their money, but they're arguing like if the money's coming out of their own personal accounts. You don't see this shit that's happening? What you mean? Why is my name in capital letters on your ID, Mark? Well, I don't get what you mean. Oh, you mean on the license? Oh, I could tell you about that too. Yeah, I forgot about that. So now, if you notice, when you go places, you don't never sign your name in capitals, right? But on your birth certificate, your name is in capital. On your social security card, your name is in capitals. So what a lot of people don't know is that when you're born, you're projected to put a certain amount of money in the income in this system, right? But at the same time, they put your birth certificate in a Swiss bank in a like a it's like in a stock market overseas. And if you don't believe me, look it up. Your name is up there, your birth and I think your date of birth, or maybe you got to go by your social security number. It's one of them numbers, but I know the password to the account is your date of birth. So you're an entity as a person. So this is what people don't understand. You're an entity as a person. This is why when you get married with somebody, it's a binding contract because you're an entity and your partner's an entity. You guys are both two separate entities and you guys are merging into one. A binding contract. This is facts. You can actually look it up, Mark Woke. I had somebody, there's this dude. His name is Jordan Maxwell. Go look him up on YouTube. He talks about why social security numbers were made, where you can find your birth certificate, where it's being traded as a stock, how to look up the stock. He tells you everything. He tells you the reason why it's called currency, how it came about. He tells you why people, when they come in with ships, you have to present a certificate of manifestation, like a birth certificate. You're like when the ship is at water and it's docked is at birth. Like when you're a baby and you're coming out of the water, you're at birth. They want the water the way the waters flow is called currency. I mean, when the waters are flowing is called the current. They want the US dollars. They want money to flow back and forth like they want the money to flow back and forth like currents. So it's called currency. Get what I'm saying? And it's like we as people are all entities. We are separate entities. Trust me, Mark. Trust me. There's a whole lot more people that are more woker than we are. I don't care how smart you might be. There's someone in the world smarter. The more smarter you get, the more you understand, the more you overstand. Let me say that again. The more you learn, the more you overstand that you don't know shit. In other words, you just learn how to count 1 to 10. You think you're Billy Badass. Then you meet some nigga from up the block that knows how to count from 10 to 25. Then you meet another nigga that knows how to count from 25 to 100. Then you start to understand, well, shit, if I know how to count 1 to 10, I thought I was badass. This nigga could count to 100. Who can count to 1,000,000? And so on and so on and so on. But yeah, Mark Woke, go look up this dude. His name is Jordan Maxwell. It's white dude. Jordan Maxwell. He busts down. He talks about why we have um birth certificates, social security numbers. He talks about how money was created. He talks about the beginning of religions. He talks about all kinds of shit. And this is the type of things that I'm talking about when I say quality of education. Quality of education. Where the fuck he learned this shit from? I wasn't taught this shit in school. Ain't nobody teach me in school about the birth certificates and social security numbers and how it's trading as stocks and somewhere else in another. I wasn't taught that. I had to learn that. Just like I'm trying to tell y'all. Max Cooper. Who's Max Cooper? Max Cooper, that's your brother? Gary Wayne is excellent in this field. Yeah. Trust me, man. I'm just trying. All I'm trying to do is shovel this information out to the masses, man. So maybe it'll help and affect everyone in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? In hopes that maybe y'all could live a better life, man. Because you know the way this universe is, you only get what you give. Get what I'm saying? That's how this world works. You only get what you give. You only get what you put in. So if you put it in nothing but negative, the universe, the world is gonna give you nothing but negative. Man, hit that like button, man. Appreciate everybody listening, man. Yo, to be honest, Mark, I low key, I high key play dumb on purpose. Remember, a smart nigga could play dumb. A dumb nigga could never play smart. You know what I'm saying? And once you play your cards, you can never get a chance. You never have a second chance to play your cards again. So you got to play them smart the right way the first time. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge is power. Remember that. The smarter you are, the more power you have. What I mean by that is after you get a certain amount of knowledge, after you receive it, you understand that the people, they only have the power that you give them. That's what I was talking about when I said we're a work in progress. We're not trying to address the negativity no more. We're gonna work on that as much as we can. See, because me, I'm not big on religion. I'm a real big spiritual person. I don't like religion because religion, it's somebody else trying to tell me how to live my life by reading this book, and they can't even do it themselves. So who are you to tell me how to live when you're not doing it? So I don't believe in religion. Why? Another reason. Why do I need you to be the third party to talk to God for me when I can pray, talk to him direct line, spirituality, direct line? I don't think maybe religion was created for division. Who knows? I can't answer that. All I do know, I'm gonna give you another known fact. A lot of people don't want to face this. The original, the religion of Islam. A lot of people don't want to know this. A lot of people don't want to accept this. The religion of Islam was actually created by some white guy. Yeah, yeah, that's a fact. Like it's some crazy shit, yo. And I looked it up, right? And then the other day I was trying to look it up again, and the shit ain't there. It's not around because the same people that created Google is the same people that told you Christopher Columbus discovered America. And then the very next chapter, there were Indians here. Well, hold up. There were Native Americans here. How could he discover America? How did he discover it if there were people already here? But we were too young to ask that question. Those are the same people that made the Constitution. These are the same people that educate us. These are the same people that lie to us. These are the same people that tell us who we are. It's all the same people. And it's like, look, so when people say, oh, this dude is racist, this dude is, look, Bonnie been supporting me from the beginning. For those of you who don't know, Bonnie is white. Bonnie never thinks I'm racist. Because if you could give me 100 facts that are negative about Puerto Ricans that affect the world, I'll be talking about that. You know what I'm saying? But the facts are facts, man. Today's day, we live in an evil economistic. Let me say this better. I'm gonna use better words. We live in an evil capitalistic time. We live in an evil capitalistic time. Get what I'm saying? The times we live in, it's about capitalism and evilness if you allow it to, because that's what they want. The more we're negative, the more we're fighting each other, the more we're jealous of each other, the more we're envious of each other, the more we don't want to let each other speak, the more we don't let each other shine. Why? Because some of us feel like, oh, if one is shining, I'm number two, I want to shine. Number five is like, I don't want to wait my turn. If number one is shining, I'm a shine. Not understanding, let number one take his shine. Then let number two take their shine. Then let number three take their shine. Your turn will come. Just like you don't want nobody taking your shine, you shouldn't take nobody else's shine. We got to be more positive and more helpful towards each other. We got to stop going out here trying to kill each other because the way this system is set up, we are killing our future Martin Luther Kings and Malcolm X's. That's who we're killing. For all we know, one of these kids that done got shot in a drive-by 15, 20, 30 years ago, he could be up there at the White House right now being our present version of Malcolm X, our present version of Martin Luther King, our present version of every political activist that came back then that they don't even teach us about. Think about it. Why did they only teach us about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Harriet Tubman? Why didn't they teach us about the people that taught Malcolm X and Martin Luther King the things that they knew? Why aren't they talking to us about those people? Why ain't they teaching us and how to make things and how to make our life and how to make better decisions so we could put our children in a position to prosper more than we prospered when we were their age? Why don't they teach us that? Why don't they teach us financial stability? Why don't they teach us about credit in school? You know how many young kids don't understand how credit goes? Like, think about that. Yo, DC 30. DC 30's comment goes, by the way, Fifth, Malcolm X hated the Democratic Party. Martin Luther King was a Republican. They lied to confuse us. Yeah, and Kenyo's comment is up there too. So now check it. People people who are into this Democrat Republican shit, because my wife is heavy into that shit. She knows more a little bit more about what the party stand for than I, because I don't keep track of them bullshit. Because I think that shit is bullshit. Because when you go back in time and you read how the parties were created, you will notice that one group of people created one party, and that same group of people went over and created the second party. It was the same group of people that created both parties. It's the same group of people who created the Constitution. It's the same group of people that tells you your history. It's the same group of people that made the system. It's the same motherfucking group of people that told you Christopher Columbus discovered America. It's the same people that created Google. It's all the same people. The same people that taught you that you wasn't gonna be shit. It's the same fucking people. It's all the same people. All of them. The people that the people that created this system that we're fighting against is the same people that are flourishing in the system that was created for us to fight each other and struggle for the fucking scraps. We're out here fighting for scraps while these motherfuckers is having Thanksgiving meals 4 and 5 times a day. Y'all motherfuckers, people ever thought about? I got a question, man. Has anybody ever thought about the lottery system? I've been thinking about this shit for a minute. One day, there was a lottery in my state of Connecticut. This was probably like a long ass time ago, over 10 years ago, right? There was one lottery that you could have hit for $483 million. I remember the day I seen that shit, I said, hold up. So you telling me that there's enough money here that you're giving away money? Why the fuck do we still have poor people? Why is there still homeless people? If there's a game where you can go to a store, right? Spend a couple of bucks on a piece of paper that has some numbers on it, right? You can go to this gas station, whatever, legally, go to the store, pay a couple of dollars for a piece of paper that's like pink and white or whatever, and put some numbers on that bitch, and you might win 400 and whatever million dollars. But when you get that black little kid in the ghetto that want to be a doctor, this nigga ain't got no money for his school books. This nigga ain't got no money for his education. Like what? Why we still got homeless people if we giving away money? What happened? Yo, I just got a question because I've never seen this. How many rich people you know that play numbers? Tell me. Boom. See what Bonnie just said? So it's like this, man. If you got lottery systems where you could give away money, why are there still poor people? Why do we still have people that are homeless? Shit don't make sense to me. It's not adding up. No, one plus one is not five. No. Like even the numbers game. Peep the fly shit about the numbers game. So you know when you go to the store and you play your numbers, I think that's what that's called, right? The lottery? Because I've never done that. I've always felt like that was a waste of money. Sorry, y'all. My father just called me. My father just got out the doctor's. About to have to call him back when I'm done with this live. So now, if we have like the lottery system, do y'all understand where the lottery came from? Do you understand that the whole concept of the lottery is they jacked that? Do you understand that back in the day in Harlem, that they used to run numbers? That's what it was called, number running. The lottery is a creation from the black man that the system stole. It's a fact. This is a fact. Back in the day, there was the Queen of Harlem. That's what she was called. The Queen of Harlem. Number running. They ran numbers. They would go to everybody's house and pennies, nickels, dimes, run numbers. What did America do? After they invaded them and arrested them, my God, my father, oh my God, I'm sorry, y'all. My father just keeps calling me, man. So it's like after America came in and took Harlem's number running, arrested them, took all their proceeds, disregarded them. What did America do? They made it legal and called it the lottery. Think about that. What the Queen of Harlem was doing in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Then it branched out everywhere else, but she started that there. The black people started number running. America didn't like it. What did America do? They came in, infiltrated, took that whole game down, and took it for themselves and put it on a broader level and called it the lottery. These is facts. Prior to the Queen of Harlem, America didn't do lottery. The lottery came from when they took the Queen of Harlem's whole game of running numbers. They said that her running numbers was illegal, that it was against the American way. And then these motherfuckers, after they put him in jail, they come out with this game called the lottery. And they straight jack move. I'm just reading some of these comments. Boom. Prime example. Kenyo Sayaki. We are close to God. He made us in his image and his likeness. Lowercase g. What this means, this is why I say the word faith is a mistranslation. I was waiting for somebody to write this. I was hoping somebody wrote this earlier. Thank you for everybody watching. Thank you for everybody in the comment section. Hit that like button. Sorry, my nose is running, man. I'm outside. It's cold. So check it. It goes, he made us in his image and likeness, right? What does that mean? His image and likeness. His image means that we look like him. We resemble him. You know what I'm saying? His likeness. That's the key in all of this. His likeness. His likeness. His likeness means that we have his power. Probably to not that extent, but we have his power. When God created the world by spoken word, that was an affirmation being spoken at a certain frequency. Get what I'm saying? A certain affirmation spoken at a certain frequency. In his likeness, we are lowercase g's. And by g's, I don't fucking mean gangsters, nigga. We're lowercase gods. Like Bonnie said, we have to do the work. You have to study, listen, watch, learn, see. Because a lot of, I'm going to tell you one thing, man. A lot of the things you're going to learn from this, from affirmations and being, it's going to go, being positive, is going to probably go against the nature you were created with. Think about that. In the nature in which you were created, this is probably going to go against that. What I mean is the nature in which we flourish in is a negative energy space. We have to be more positive, positive affirmations, positivity, the correct frequencies, positivity. Let that positive aura, let that positivity vibrate into the universe and watch the universe reciprocate you with positive vibrations. Like, okay, I got something else for y'all. Oh, yeah. The patents, yeah. The patents that were stolen from black people, you are correct. It's unsurmountable. But that's what's always been done. This is what a lot of people don't understand. If you went and watched the movie of Nikola Tesla, it'll tell you how many times Robert, yeah, I think it's Robert Einstein. It shows you how many times Einstein. I think it was Einstein. Was it Einstein that created relativity? And what the fuck is this dude's name that thought about gravity? I forget his name. I forget his name. The gravity dude. Damn it! I got so much shit in my brain. I'm forgetting people's names now. So Tesla said that these people were coming around stealing his ideas. Look at how Facebook was created. Do you remember? They said that it was Mark Zuckerberg and two other alleged people in a garage creating it, and he ran off with it on his own. He stole it. And the land we live is the land of the thief, which is something that they don't perpetuate, which is something they don't tell you the truth of. The land of the thief. What did Christopher Columbus do? He was supposed to come over here and lay down the flag of the Brits. This is why in the beginning the American flag had the stripes, and in the corner it was the emblem of the Brits that we took away from them. We we went left from them and stayed on our own. We stole this from them. America is the land of the thief. Think about that. That's why everything in America is thieving. They're stealing patents. They're stealing legal fucking. If you're not LLC, it got a whole bunch of shit. Copyright infringement. They got a whole bunch of shit set up so somebody cannot steal from you. You know why? Because this is the land of the thief. Christopher Columbus came here and stole the land from the Native Americans. He's a thief. This is the land of the thief. So in the Bible, when it tells you that he created the firmament dome and we're all of his likeness and we're all lowercase g's like him, we got to speak in a positive affirmational vibration and watch the universe reciprocate us with that positive vibrational karma. Because karma is not a bad thing. I don't know why in the ghettos across the world we feel that karma is a bad thing. How many times have you heard somebody say, I can't wait for karma to get that motherfucker? Why don't we understand that karma is a reciprocation of what we feed the universe? If we talking negative, thinking negative, feeling negative, being negative, always negative, the universe is going to reciprocate you with negativity because that's what you're feeding it. You got to look at the universe like it's a baby. Get what I'm saying? If you feed the baby food, if you feed the baby food, the shit that it shits out is going to be mushy. But when that baby gets older and it's a person and you feed it solid food, you know how that stool come out. Get what I'm saying? You got to make your positivity feel like it's steak and lobster and shrimp and crab to the universe. You got to feed the universe that positivity to make it give it back to you. Your pineal gland or your pineal gland? I think everybody keeps saying your pineal gland. I think that's your pineal gland. I don't know how to say that exactly correctly, but I know where that is. That's in the front of your brain. You are correct. So now, Kenyo Sayaki, you want to talk about the gland, right? Has anybody ever heard of a substance called DMT? There's a substance, it's called DMT. The letter D as in dark, T as in Tom, and M as in Mark. DMT. Sorry, that came out wrong. D as in day, M as in Mark, and T as in Todd. DMT. DMT is a drug. All right, so now check it. The fluid that flows in your pineal gland, your third eye, your pineal gland, whatever it's called, the front part of your forehead, you know where your eyebrows are, You know, I got that little space in between your eyebrows above your nose. If you pull your finger up a few centimeters, that's where your penile, your picchio, whatever that is called, is right there, right? So there's a fluid that goes up and that goes through there that your brain manifests, and there's a fluid there. So when that fluid is fully functional and is flowing, your third eye is open. So this drug called DMT is that fluid that flows in your pineal gland, is that drug. It's that. That's what they use. It's that substance that's in your brain. So that pineal gland is that substance. And mind you, I had no idea about vibrations and affirmations until I spoke to my sister. And all of this shit started when my sister was trying to make me believe that the world was flat. If I tell you how that conversation went, it went from me calling my sister the biggest dummy in the world. I can't believe you think the world is flat, right? Mind you, today she doesn't think it's flat. But when we started this conversation, I thought we lived in a flat, I thought we lived in a round world and she thought it was flat, right? But now let me give you a few facts before you think of me as crazy. These are actual facts. There's who I want y'all to tell me in the chat who knows what longitude and latitude is. Who knows what that is? Longitude and latitude. Who knows what that is? Somebody please tell me. Longitude and latitude is how they make GPS. It's where it tells you where you're going. Longitude and latitude. That's where you get the current. So now that shit started. Check this out. The longitude and latitude, that shit started with pirates. Not some elaborate smart motherfucker with a computer. Not some brainiac like fucking Thomas Edison. Not some nigga like Nicole. Not some real smart person. No. Longitude and latitude came from pirates. Think about this. Pirates used to be in the ships of the sea making maps, telling you where the currents ran and what body of water, which are called channels. The channels of the currents is what the pirates created, right? That was all based on a flat map. This is where you get the sayings, the Middle East, or as the United States and North America is referred to, is as the West. This is my point. When America goes to war, they use all flat maps, right? So if we have a ball, if we're in a ball, tell me the middle of the ball. So then you could tell me where the mid east is. So then you could tell me where west is of a ball. So look at your basketball, because that's what they're saying. The world is shaped like a basketball, right? Because we're going to get to that shit in 1 second. The world is shaped like a basketball. So you take this basketball and tell me where the middle of that ball is. Not the center. The center is inside of it. Not the center, the middle. Because they call that the Middle East. They call America the West. Well, where is the Middle East and the West of a ball? Because if you're on one side of the ball and you say, yo, this is the Middle East, well, you could turn that ball in 150 degrees. Well, it's 360. Half of 360 is what? 180. So you can take that ball in 180 degrees, and that space will be the same exact space that's on the other side. Remember, back in the day when they said the world is a sphere, the word sphere did not mean ball. Again, we're taking the American societal definition of words and being selfish and thinking we own everything and using our own definition to give us what the fuck it means. The word sphere did not mean ball back in the day. It means ball today. Get what I mean? So they said the world was round. No, no, no. I said that wrong. Sorry. That I said that all wrong. Let me take that all back. Sorry. The word ball didn't exist. So when they used the word ball, it was sphere. That was the word that was in circulation. Sphere. Sorry, I'm saying this wrong. Sphere. I'm SPH. Sphere. Get what I'm saying? The word ball didn't exist. It was sphere. They didn't say that. They said the world is round. Question for y'all. I want y'all to think about this because I don't know this. Just want y'all to think about this. I'm trying to spark some of them electrons in your brain because we're going to get to one of these comments. Said the world is round. What if the world is round like a coin and it's flat and it's round? Think about that. What if we're in a flat surface that's round? Maybe the surface isn't flat. Maybe it's a curve that dips in. Who knows? But what if we're round like a disc with maybe a dip in the middle, but not necessarily a ball? And I'm gonna tell you why. Back in the day, the Egyptians have hieroglyphs where they depicted what the earth looked like. And if you look at it, it has like the earth on the bottom, it has the stars in the sky, and it has a lady bent backwards over it. I want you to take your image of this hieroglyph and split screen share your screen and put the the picture of the firmament dome right next to that of the hieroglyphs of the Egyptians. And you will see that the two pictures are damn near the fucking same. What the Bible says about the flat earth and how it's a firmament dome is what the Egyptians believe, but they didn't use the same words. They had different vocabulary. It goes, just before you die, your body will be flushed of this substance. The substance is what he's relating to is a substance that's in that pineal gland, that pineal gland in your brain, which is what DMT is. DMT is a pilled version of that substance that's in your brain already. Think about that. DMT does not get you high. DMT doesn't give you no euphoric feeling. DMT helps you open and unlock more of your brain, which some of y'all remember the movie Limitless. Remember that movie where he took that pill to make him smarter? That fucking thing exists, man. It's called DMT. You can't be negative because the universe, negative and positive are two totally different things that repel from each other. They don't rock with each other. For us to help manifest what we need and want, we got to be more positive as a people. As a people. Exactly. 90 and 0. 99 and 0. This is what I'm talking about when I say you have to be in a positive state, affirm yourself, positive conversations, positive affirmations, positive situations, positive vibrations, positive thoughts. Be in tune. Let your heart and mind be clear of all ill. Don't speak against your affirmations because when you're negative and you're jealous and you're envious and you have all these things going on that work against you, hate that works against you. Positivity isn't about that. So when you're trying to affirm yourself, then you have all these negative energies in you that's working against you. You got to be more positive as a people. Fuck race, fuck where somebody's from. Because let's say you get on your knees, right? And let's say you're in jail. Prime example. Let's say you're not prison, jail. So you're praying for the judge to let you out every day, 9 times a day, right? Then you turn around and after you get off your knees and you done praying, you go out into the dorms or you go out of the cell into the day room and now everything is nigga, fuck you, gang bang, that, whatever the fuck. Guess what you just did? Everything you just prayed for, you just shitted on it yourself. You took it away from yourself because you're speaking against what you're trying to manifest. A prayer is a form of manifestation, is a form of affirmation. You ever heard somebody say, yo, I want you to tell the whole world that you love me? Then a nigga like me gets in close to my wife's ear and say, I love you. And then this is a story. The woman told the man, I want you to scream from the mountaintops to tell the whole world you love me. He got real close to the woman's ear and said, I love you. She said, why did you do that? I told you to tell the world. He told the woman, you are my world. The universe is a world that functions in affirmations and energies and vibrations and these are things that they don't teach us. This is why we fight each other so much, because we don't have the knowledge to help procreate us in a positive way. We don't have that knowledge. We don't share it with each other. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. So, this comment is fucking awesome. Tazo TV goes, being positive is also hanging around positive people, right? Sort of. It depends on where you are in life. So, what I mean is, if you're a true beginner to try to be positive affirmation, then yes, because you have to build your affirmation, your knowledge, and your structure to withstand the evils. But if you understand and you're solid in your foundation, then no, because you got to be around the negative to bring them into positive. Get what I'm saying? If you're in the Bible and you're preaching the Bible, you're not going to surround yourself with everyone that's like you. You got to go out there and bring more people into the positive. Get what I'm saying? So, yes, at a certain point, you got to hang around nothing but positive people. Correct. But the minute that you're structured and you're solid and your foundation is strong and immovable, now you double back to all the negative people and try to help them come into this positive life. So you're feeling it. You feel the change in you. You see the change in you. You know it, you feel it, your brain is working different, you're talking different. Now you are actually living the example that you are setting for them to see. But if you're not around them, they can't see it. So like me, I'm gonna give you a prime example, Tazo. Prime example. In my hood, I'm a real negative nigga. Negative like a motherfucker. I mean negative. Like I was dumb. Like I'll fight you in a courthouse while in the courtroom. I was just ignorant as fuck. Why? Because the being in prison never bothered me. Because I'm in there smoking weed, beating niggas up. That didn't bother me. Get what I mean? I had to become this positive person. And as I was out there at my universe in real life, there's so many people being affected by so many different things that it's hard to sit down and conversate with a group of people I know in real life like the way I'm conversating with y'all. But on YouTube, my voice goes farther. My voice goes farther. It could affect people. So I'm on YouTube like in real life. Because I got a bunch of people that now, as of then, like the last 5, 10 days, that are on my YouTube that know me in real life. And they be like, damn, bro, I like that positive energy you on YouTube, my nigga. Keep doing that. People that watch me grow up in prison, people that are your age, people a little bit older than you. Yo, bro, stay right there. That's the best thing for you. The more you do it on YouTube, the more you talk about it on YouTube, the more it's going to reflect you in real life. So, yes, at a certain extent, you have to surround yourself with the people that are positive, like minded, like yourself, or where you want to be. But once you have that positive structure, you're going to want to share that with your brothers and sisters that are negative. You have to go to the negative to bring them to the positive. Because it's like this. If I'm a street nigga, right? Because you say I smell contradiction. If you a street nigga and you give up the streets and you get in your life, whether if it's in the Bible, if it's in the Quran, if it's in getting in school and whatever you doing to get out of that negative space of the streets, what do you do? What do they say? Did you go back to your hood and give back? What are you doing? You left your negative state got yourself a more positive life, then what do? You remove yourself from your positive life and go back to the negative where you came from to try to bring people into the positive of where you're at now. You always, if you want to make a difference in the people that you affect and the people that you grew up with, you always have to go back. But if you don't give a fuck about nobody but yourself, then no, you don't have to go back. You keep going forward. It depends on who you are. It depends on if you're looking for the change to change yourself or if you're looking for the change to change yourself and the people around you. Depends on how you're looking at it. Because I know mad people that left the struggle and living in a positive way, and them niggas never look back. They didn't give a fuck about their cousins. They didn't give a fuck about their brothers. They didn't give a fuck about nobody. I knew a nigga that left his wife because she was mad negative. He didn't care. He took the kids from her and took the fuck off. What happened? 5, 6 years later, she ended up doing drugs. 3 years after that, she fucking died, drug overdose. He paid for the funeral expenses, everything, because he changed his life. He changed his life to a point that now he got a legal financial stability. And he said, fuck everybody. If you're not following me by watching me, fuck you. I'm not going back for you. Me, I'm the type of nigga that'll find a way out and turn around and go back and show everybody where I'm from a way out. Like, yo, selling drugs, shooting people, robbing people, trying to be the biggest thug in the world, trying to be the biggest gangster in the world, trying to be the biggest drug dealer in the world. Nigga, that's a fucking lie. That creates more division in our people. That's a lie. Took me a long time to realize that. It's a fucking lie. The best thing I can do is try to be as positive as I can because I'm a work in progress. We are all working progresses. I don't give a fuck if you're 19 or if you're fucking 60. You're a working progress. Why? Because it doesn't matter how good of a man you are today, you can always be a better man tomorrow. We're all working progresses. All of us. None of us always make the right decisions. I'm talking about being positive. And sometimes when you're positive enough to surround yourself with negative people so they can see the positivity in you and they can emulate it. They can say, damn, if he can do it, I know the type of background he came from. He had a fucked up upbringing. If he could have a more positive state of mind, a more positive aura, or more positive, happier life, then I can do it. Man, we got to be more positive as a people. And it starts within ourselves. Before you can help someone else, you have to be structured foundation in your own positivity, an immovable force. Because if you're not immovable, how many people you seen backslide from the Bible to go right back to the streets? That's because their foundation was not immovable. Their foundation wasn't fully dried yet. That foundation, that cement in your basement, this is a metaphor for those of you who don't understand. Your foundation is the basement of your building. Your foundation. Your building, your house is only as strong as your foundation. Your foundation and positivity, that's how strong your life is going to be. So if your foundation isn't dried, solid, and immovable, when you get around in negative energy, your house is going to crumble. It's going to fall. This is why they say remove yourself. You ever heard to say to change you got to change people, places and things? That's what they mean. Once you remove yourself from other negative people, you remove yourself from other negative places, you remove yourself from other negative things, you will begin your positive journey. And when you're in your journey and you're completing it and you're secure, you can double back and say, nigga, I'm gonna throw you this lifeline. This is the way out, not the bullshit they've been teaching us. So this is what I mean. When a nigga says, when a nigga that never seen you before, right? When someone who's never interacted with you before, someone who's never walked in your shoes before, someone who's never walked through them prison hallways like you have, in and out of them jail cells like you have, in and out of them prison cells like you have, in and out of them segregation cells like you have. Their points about you are totally invalid because they don't know what you came from. That's why people in my chat that know me salute me because they know the type of savage I am, was, could be in these streets. And instead of being on YouTube perpetuating a negative vibration that is just more, that's just gonna fuck our people up more, that's on you. You can do that because I know what that does because I've been there. I literally done put holes in niggas in broad daylight with no mask on without running from the. I did that. I've been there. I done been in situations where I'm shooting at people and they shooting back at me broad daylight. I'm a little nigga, 14, 15 years old. I'm getting into gunfights with niggas in their 30s. I did that. I done been there. I done ran towns with I done did all that. I done beat up gang members. I done did all that. I done seen some gangster ass niggas in the street shooting people, convicted murderers, go to jail and become pussies because they don't know how to fight. What's the point of that? Tell me, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go somewhere and shoot a nigga, and then what? I'm gonna be in prison for the rest of my life. Not you. What you gonna say in that moment? Oh, nah, that was a real nigga. 2, 3 years later, you're gonna look back at that situation and say, damn, that nigga was dumb because he's still in jail. His kids are out here by themselves. There's somebody else fucking the woman he loves, living in the house he built. Yeah. Some people don't understand that negativity because they never experienced that negativity. Nah. See, this is wrong. I didn't use him for nothing. I still would have been over there if he didn't make up the whole lie and calling my wife out and swearing on my wife that she was gonna that she was the one that act like she was Hassan Campbell. And since then he made like 3 other videos saying whoever the fuck it was. That's when everything was the end. The minute he lied on my wife and spoke on my wife, everything after that, it was just more cherries on the cake. Because if he never lied and he never said, if he would have never made up the whole Hassan Campbell phone call, we would all still probably be where we were. But that's getting me away from the greater conversation because I'm not with that. Because the positivity is where it is. Where has negativity got us as a people? Where has it got us? To still being divided and still fighting for the same shit that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X fought for, which is the reason why Colin Kaepernick took a knee. How the fuck we still dealing with the same shit they dealt with? That's because nothing changed. That's like the story of Uncle Tom. They tell everybody Uncle Tom is a sellout when in actuality, Uncle Tom was a martyr. A bunch of slaves escaped, and Uncle Tom didn't give up where the slaves escaped to. And the slaves were free. Uncle Tom was tortured and killed because he would not give up. He would not give up where the escaped slaves went to. So when somebody call you an Uncle Tom, you take that shit as a compliment because that dumbass motherfucker don't know what the fuck he talking about. That dumbass nigga think Uncle Tom is a sellout because that dumbass nigga don't know he's not educated. That dumbass nigga going off of what somebody else said. They neutralized who Uncle Tom was because they didn't want a nation of Uncle Toms. Imagine that. If 10 slaves escape and one don't, and that one that stayed back makes sure the other 10 escape, even to his detriment, even to his death, he did not give it up. He made them he gave them other slaves a free life because he didn't tell the master where they escaped to. Uncle Tom is a martyr. This is what I mean by we're blinded and we listen to the miseducation of the United Snakes of America. It's the same people. The same people that told you George Washington discovered this, he's the same people that made Google. It's the same people that created the Constitution. It's the same people that created this system to keep us oppressed. It's the same motherfuckers. It's the same people, man. It's the same people. It's the same people. It's the same people. It's the same people that make it. So in the hoods, there's package stores on every fucking corner. But I don't give a fuck what state you live in. Go roll up a L, jump in your car, and go take a ride to the rich side of town. Tell me if you see package stores the way you did in your neighborhoods where you grew up in the good. Tell me if it looks the same. Tell me if they're called package stores or are they called wine and spritzers? Hmm? Tell me. Tell me if in the rich neighborhoods they're called package stores or if they're called wine and spritzers. Tell me if when you in your hood and when you see everybody gripping, right? And everybody giving you the mean mug, right? But when you in the rich neighborhoods, what you get? Well, when you in the hood, what do you get when you look at somebody? What the fuck you looking at, nigga? Right? But when you in these rich neighborhoods, what do you get? You look at somebody and they say, "How are you doing today, sir?" Why? Because they have that positive energy vibrating all around them like it's a field. And there's a barrier in between us and their positive universe. This is why when you see them, they're always happy and they're always good morning and they're always so chippery because they grew up in that positive environmental universe. This is a universe that we don't even know about, some shit that we wasn't even taught, some shit that I'm trying to teach us because it's not y'all, because I'm still trying to teach myself, but I'm not a teacher. So sometimes I don't pick the best words that I should because I'm telling y'all what it is. Fuck how it should be. They got us in a capitalistic systematic division. They got us. What I mean is they'll put you in a ghetto where when you go to school, your education, the quality of your education is not that high. So you're not that attractive to these working companies that need to hire people because they see your vibration, they know your background, they know where you come from, and they know the quality of education you have. They know this. They know that when we're frustrated, we get mad and act out in violence because we already have frustration that was passed down in our DNA from our ancient slave ancestors. Get what I'm saying? They know we have this anger in us at all times. This is We Are Five Fifths, man. This is just a little bit more of an intro of the type of content I'm gonna keep trying to bring from now on, man. Fuck all this negative shit on YouTube, man. Why am I waste my time talking shit to somebody on YouTube when I cannot open my door, go outside and shoot them or fight them? Why waste my life with that negative energy? That's a waste of time, which is a waste of life. If I want to deal with negativity, all I got to do is go outside, go around the neighborhood and initiate some shit. Why not affect the world in a positive way when it could come back and affect you in a positive way? Because if we know the universe is going to give you what you give it, why give it negativity so it could give you negativity? Give the universe positive so it could give you positive, man. It's a facts, man. Have more positive energy. Affirm yourself. Large sums of money come to me quickly and easily. Man, this is We Are Five Fifths, man. Have a positive day. Hope y'all day is blessed. Make y'all day great. Keep that positive energy. And if you're having a bad moment, if you're having a bad 3:45 to 4:45, don't carry that on to 5:45 in the rest of your day. Make your day great. Make that positive energy in you. Put it in yourself. Reinforce yourself. Don't count on nobody else. Count on yourself. Stay positive, be positive. Stay blessed, be blessed. Positive conversations, positive affirmations, positive situations, positive vibrations, positive 360. This is We Are for y'all. This is We Are Five Fifths. Salute to y'all, man. Thank you for everybody watching. Thank you for hitting that like button. Thank you for everybody in the chat.